Oh,
Welcome back. Thanks for clicking on our faces. Tonight, we are talking about the very first episode of Secret Invasion. Now, if you're here, don't forget to leave us a like. Don't forget to drink your alcohol because it's a wind down. We talk and we drink, and we're done drinking, but we have more. The tap is always flowing here on Unpopular Review.
this one have something in it.
Exactly. So, this feels like our first Marvel show in a while. Like it's been a long break in between.
It's been a while since we've done a Marvel show. We've been doing more of the DC CW stuff. I'm trying to think. The last one we did was last year. It was last year. It was She-Hulk, I believe.
Oh yeah.
We did She-Hulk. That's that. Funny thing, real quick before we break down this episode. On Twitter, they have this thing called "What was peak Marvel?" So I made a joke about it being She-Hulk, the episode where she twerked with Megan Thee Stallion, and I had to make it clear, like, I'm just joking, guys. This is really peak Marvel, and that was the scene from Endgame where all the Marvel characters, because that was really peak. Although some people can make the argument about Spider-Man: No Way Home and the three Spider-Man, but yeah.
You already know. Don't open up that
but
really as far as shows go,
yes.
I'm telling you, WandaVision and Hawkeye still top for me.
You've always put WandaVision over. I think WandaVision was more up your alley. I appreciate the difference, how different it was. What was the other one you said in Hawkeye? Hawkeye was cool because of the season. It's such a I feel like it's almost like a Christmas tradition.
It's a Christmas classic at this point. You gotta pop it in and watch it and then stream it. But here we are again talking about.
How long ago was that? That was like last year we did that, right?
No, it was year before last.
Jeez, time is just flying. Go ahead.
I know, right? So, but here we are. Speaking of time, let's get to what the people want to hear and what the people want to talk about. Secret Invasions. Now, this show seems to take a more serious, darker, twisted turn of Marvel. It's really different from She-Hulk, right? She-Hulk was more, jokey and, 25, 30-minute episodes. This was like a whole hour long, pretty much.
Yeah.
And I didn't anticipate that length. I was like, all right, that 30-minute show, I can finish in the middle of the night. Bruh. I could not. But that left me extra time today to, watch it a few times. So pretty much we have, what's his name?
Nick
from Wakanda. You know who I'm talking about. Agent,
Ross. I'm sorry,
Agent Ross, yes.
I'm sorry, Ross. I was thinking about him. I'm like, wait, what?
You know, Agent Ross.
Well, you gotta forgive me. When you said Wakanda, I was thinking about someone black, and I was like, oh, you mean my favorite white boy, Ross?
Yeah, there's only two white folks allowed in Wakanda: Ross and
Bucky.
Bucky.
Yep, absolutely.
So,
homie with the medal on.
He's speaking with this guy. I want to say they call him Prescott. And Prescott is like one of those tinfoil wearing, conspiracy theorists. And he's telling Ross that, all of this attacks, it's all connected. It's not really, different organizations. It's all the Skrulls, right? The Skrulls, and apparently the Skrulls are
these alien creatures from outer space. And they come from, they were featured in the Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel. So it was strange to me because what is going on, Dan? My favorite biased judge of UPR Battle. How are you doing?
The best judge of UPR Battle said, I enjoyed the She-Hulk series at the time for what it was, mainly for my boy Daredevil. Okay, the Daredevil thing was.
Matter of fact, my boy, your boy here, because I know he cosplayed as the yellow suit Daredevil. So shout out to this guy. This guy is. I told C privately. I said, I believe you own a portal gun because you're at every con. Like every con. So I just believe that you own a portal gun. But they come from outer space, and I think this is where I'm lost at. I mean, I think this is something that happened off screen because they were living in peace, right? And now they're not living in peace. Like
no, from what I can remember from Captain Marvel, it's been some time since I've seen the movie. They were fighting over their like areas, like they didn't have a place to live because there was other aliens that were kind of like enslaving them. So they were kind of vagabonds then. So I think it's just continued, and like they had like they were like refugees on Earth pretty much.
Right. Now that makes a lot of sense.
Apparently a certain subdivision of Skrulls have, grown weary of not having a place to live, and the empty promises from S.H.I.E.L.D. of getting them a place. They decided, okay, we're going to take over this spot right now. Right. And my thing is, their whole big plan, at least from what's been revealed, is that they plan on convincing the different nations of Earth that where they're attacking each other, like Russia versus America versus China. They're trying to start World War III, right? But then it's like, what do they think is about to be left after all of that? They think the nuke's about to go off and they're just about to take over after the fact? What?
They didn't think about the plan thoroughly. They didn't think about thoroughly.
Yeah, and it's like they did mention in the movie, in the show, that they are immune to radiation, so theoretically they could survive. But what would be left?
Take that, Turner.
Take that, Turner. There's freaking talent. They got damn what's his name out here? Brody.
Yeah, Brody.
The Brodies, a whole bunch of Brodies. Look, if people don't watch Gotham Knights, they don't know what the heck we're talking about. So,
catch us on Wednesdays at 9:00. You'll know exactly what we're talking about for the last time next week, anyway.
But so pretty much, there was this whole Prescott. He tells Ross, this is what's really going on. Ross is like, okay, all right, bet I'm going to take it to Fury. He's off world right now, but this is important shit. Give me what you got. I'm about to bring it to Fury, right? And Prescott, with his tinfoil hat, practically, he started, he's putting two and two together. He's like, what the hell's going on here, right?
What is this, right? Yeah.
He decides, instead of giving him the thing, he's going to try to take this man out. He pulls out a rope and string and tries to choke him out. But unfortunately, Agent Ross got the better of him. He pulled out the nines and shot him right on the floor. But that led into this whole chase scene between him and this other guy. And we're following Ross. We're like, oh crap, Ross.
Run!
Yeah, Ross. But he runs, and this was some really good CGI at this point. What's it called? CG?
Yeah.
Because we see him fall from the roof. He hits the other building. He didn't make it. He slips down. I'm like, dang, they really killed off Ross like that.
Right. Yeah.
But then it was revealed that he's actually a Skrull. Maybe not the Ross that we know from Wakanda, but this one in the show. And the man who was chasing him, he revealed himself as a Skrull too, right? He's I think
his name is Talos or something like that.
He's
the good one. And and I just wanted to touch a little bit right here, because when you said about Ross dying, right? And I was thinking the same thing, but when it was revealed to be a Skrull, because you figured one of them was a Skrull, but you didn't know who. And I said, as time went on, I said, this show is going to mess up my mind, because you don't know who's who. And I know we're going to get to it a little bit later about certain scene, but that's when I said, oh, this show is going to really piss me off, because I'm going to be like,
what's scary about it, because it could be anyone, right?
Yes.
So, and he's the good Skrull, or what I like to call the self-hating Skrull, who doesn't want to stick with his people.
Self-hating.
There's a lot of self-hatred going on in his
mind.
Seeing
this.
Right, what's going on? But Agent Hill, Ross, before he got taken out, called Agent Hill to give him some backup and pick him up. So she's back, and because of all of this going down, someone gets the message over to Fury. I want to say it's Agent Hill. Like, look, come down to Earth. So he,
Well, yeah, no, she did it, but that was from Talos passing the word, saying, "Can you make that call to him?" Because she revealed that later on in the episode, that I did that because he asked me to.
Okay, so he ends up coming down to Earth. He has a reunion with Talon or Talon, or I forget, Mr. T.
We'll call him Alien T.
Alien T.
Alien T.
Yeah, because apparently they have a history. And also he revealed that, he's been having some troubles. His wife passed away, his daughter's gone.
Right.
But he's still here for the mission of killing off his people, apparently.
I mean, the way your description on the way how you made that. Let's okay, everyone. I know C is having a good time. A blast over there, but he wants to get rid of the evil scrolls. Okay, it's not. These are the worst. These are the worst versions, and he says they don't represent me, so we need to get rid of these guys.
That's true. He even made a point when he was first introduced, when Agent Hill was like, "Oh, he's one of you," and he was like, "No, he's one of them." So there's these different factions.
Yeah. That's good. That's a good idea.
So I didn't catch it till about the third time I watched it.
Well, that's good. I'm glad, because when you were talking about you thought this episode was going to be very short. I actually took a nap midway because this thing was so long.
Yes.
I was on my commute and I took a nap and I said, "Oh right, I gotta watch this for the review." But carry on.
So yeah, so pretty much they feel Fury on what's been happening since he's been in outer space.
Right.
And during that kind of briefing, he decides he needs some air already. He just got to Earth. He's ready for some fresh Russian breeze. So he's like, all right, let me go and walk the streets. And as he's walking the streets, he gets kidnapped. Somebody come and, take him up. And it's like, of course, like they mentioned, like, who's not going to know it's you?
Right.
In the streets of Russia, you're the only black man for the next 100 miles with a scratch on his face.
I mean, not for nothing. Even when he was just walking the streets, you can see the Russians just like they're like, oh, look at the big black man.
Exactly. Who's this? Shaquille O'Neal?
Oh my God. And
I've heard like when you go to like other countries, like far when they always think you're famous. Somebody like super famous. But
yeah, they would think I was Ray J when I go over there.
Oh, they're gonna think you Killmonger.
Bum 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 bum.
So, then he gets taken into, I want to say this is like freaking not Shield. I don't even know what it's called.
It was like a secret area because it was I feel like the area that they took Nick Fury to, it was a closed off area. Like this is something like I don't want to say the Batcave because I feel like it's offensive, but you get what I'm saying. It's like a secret location.
Yeah, and it's like he meets up with this lady who looks like Natalie Wood a little bit in the face, and she's like she's like M from 007, James Bond, and her and Fury have this little camaraderie going on, maybe a little bit of competitiveness. Mm-hmm. She's pretty much saying like, look, you're old. There's not much you can offer here. But he's saying that don't nobody know the scrolls better than me. I've been knowing about it for the past 30 years, right?
Right.
And while he was in her office, he planted like a little listening device or camera or whatever it was.
It was a camera.
Onto one of her little knickknacks.
It was that cat. It wasn't a
it was an owl, actually. Quote of the owls.
Oh, it was an owl. There we go. Listen, they're trying to still remain. It's like DC, CW, you can't get rid of it. CW is like, this ain't CW, you can't get rid of us. We're still here.
Right.
We're going to be in
all one universe.
There we go. Look at this right there.
She was able to, she pretty much told him like, look, you're too old. Just go. You're not ready for this fight.
But I also think, didn't she mention also too, I didn't mean to cut you off, I apologize, but didn't she mention also too that he hasn't been the same since the snap?
Yeah.
Well, I know a few times that was mentioned throughout the show.
He might be dealing with a little PTSD
after
the snap, and which is probably why he's been off world so long, because,
right.
I think she did mention like you realize that there's always going to be something bigger and badder, right?
Right.
So, she I think he just left on that. She was like, okay, I'll have my boys drop you back off at the safe house. She was like, no, I'll walk. Yeah. But also simultaneously we get taken to this man in the woods, and we're like, okay, who's this black man, right? And he's the second black man in Russia.
There we go, the second black man.
300 miles to the west.
They had to spread the black people around Russia.
he gets to this gate, and it's, you know, it's looking very much almost like The Walking Dead. Like everything's, you know, they're in the woods, they got these gates, and our girl from freaking Game of Thrones, Khaleesi.
That's where she's from. Okay.
Yes, Game of Thrones. She's
Okay.
here, and she meets him. She's like, "Oh, let me see your true face," and he's a scroll, and apparently so is she. She's in like this, you know, the underground version of the scrolls. They're the ones trying to take over Earth.
They're
right?
the rebels without a cause.
Yeah, the rebels, right? She's, you know, Khaleesi, Mother Dragon's freer of the scrolls. So she takes him, this newer man, and shows him around the facility. Like, yo, this is where we are all, you know, we're all here. There's, you know, people who stay strictly on the commune, and there's people who are like, you know, fighters like me.
Yeah, out there.
And she pretty much shows him that if you do well, this other guy who's their leader, I want to say they called him like
I forgot what it was. It began with a K, I think, right? I forget.
No, it was either a G or a B, I think. I forget, but the leader.
Yeah, it was a G. It was like Graven or something like that.
Oh, so we're how the MCU is now in sync with our timeline in real life. See?
No,
maybe that's why all these delays are going on.
So in sync that the other day I just saw a war machine flying in the air.
Mm-hmm.
Just flew in the air.
Boo!
That was great. You almost don't do that, but carry on.
So yeah, she pretty much shows him the facility, and we get to see the other end of the scrolls. Like, these are the rebels, right? And this seems to be a recurring theme with Marvel now, because remember in Captain America?
Yeah, I mean Falcon. Yeah, I was getting. I'm sorry, I was getting those same vibes. Vibes, absolutely.
So also our boy Alien T and Fury, they're on the lookout for this other alien. I'll forget what I want to say. They're trying to get more information on, you know, where the bombs, because they were tipped off about some kind of attack that's going to go on. A fight breaks out between, you know, this new alien and Alien T, and he's like, "Oh, you're a traitor. You're a blood traitor," pretty much, and he is a little bit, but you know, he's on our side, so I guess, you know, we can overlook the turncoatness of it all.
I mean, he's not trying to protect me. I'm a fan of him. Yeah,
exactly. So, you know, we can't be with so mad. And they actually showed in the fight during the battle, Nick Fury shoot this guy, and they showed the bullet holes and everything. And I'm like, is he really doing this now?
Well, and you know what? I could appreciate that about because I feel like each series, and we were talking about all the shows, you were talking about WandaVision, I'm sorry, Hawkeye, and I love that this was such a different take. So I appreciate that.
It's definitely a little bit more gritty than what we've become used to.
Honestly, could you have a show? Could you have a show like this with Samuel L. Jackson and not include? No, you got to do that. The only thing missing was the damn snakes.
That's true. He about to drop the F-bomb. It's probably gonna be in the last episode somewhere near there.
You have to, like, they teased it, so you know it's coming. Honestly, it's surprising that he wasn't the first one to drop an F-bomb.
Right.
That they really missed that. Yeah, it was
Star-Lord of all people.
Star-Lord, come on.
Right. But anyway, so they end up killing this guy. But as they're leaving, our Alien T, he runs into Khaleesi, right? Ooh. And pretty much that's when we find out, right, that Khaleesi is his missing daughter. Plot twist.
Whoa!
Yes. And pretty much she didn't know that her mom had died, so he kind of made that, you know, that revelation to her, and she was like, "Oh, well, how did she die? Who killed her?" And he was like, "Ask the people that you work for." Yeah. So yeah, apparently her side killed off her mom, and
she seemed very she seemed very she didn't believe her father.
I think she's just so hurt by him for whatever reason. I don't know why, but I think she believes him because of what happens, you know, later in the episode. Even when she had an opportunity, she was speaking to the head honcho, who I assume is the head honcho, right? And she mentioned that she was apprehended for a little bit, but she got away. And he asked her, "Is it anyone you can identify?" And she said no. So she's still looking out for her dad. And I just think that, there's maybe some, some history there that we are not aware of yet, but there's something that went down.
Sure.
And, but it was also shortly after that scene that she comes back to warn her dad about the bombs, because there's going to be an attack going on in the middle of the city, 3 different bombs. So she's kind of like playing both sides already in the first episode. I'm like, girl.
No, I'm very proud, because that's literally how I would act in the beginning.
But here's the thing, though. Why the hullabaloo? Why, be so deep into this, rogue organization?
This cult, kind of.
Yeah, so much so that you're the one who's bringing in the new recruits and stuff, meeting them at the gate. But then you want to turn around and do for the other team.
I think for the longest time she was with this cult, or this there was another word that you put elegantly, but I think with the revelation that the resistance
or not even resistance, they're the bad guys though.
Yeah, I was gonna say resistance sound like a good word, like
yeah,
but
revolutionaries.
There we go. That sounds very bad, but I think with the idea that now that it was brought up to her attention that these people killed your mother, and she's already too deep in where, listen, if she sit here and say, I don't want to be part of this cult anymore, guess what they're going to do to her? They're going to kill her. So she has to play both roles, where she's trying to make this role, this side comfortable, but also try to help this side so we can overtake them, and then she can leave, because they're not going to let her leave freely. They're going to kill her.
But here's the thing. This is episode 1. They doing a lot of plot here in episode 1. I feel like that would have been good for us to see and watch that progression. Now it's just like episode 1. She's already playing both sides.
I don't know if this plays a big role into it, but from what I understand, there's only 6 episodes. This is a 6-episode miniseries. So maybe they're trying to get a lot as much, and maybe even explain why this episode was so long.
Okay.
So like 40 minutes long or something like that?
Yeah, it was definitely on the longer side.
I mean, just taking a hunch here. I don't know for sure, but I try to add those elements in there.
Okay, that makes sense. So we get to the city. This is where, it's all going down. And of course, Agent Fury and Agent Hill and, Alien T, they're all there because they were made aware ahead of time by his daughter.
Right.
And one bomb goes off. One bomb goes off in the middle of the city, and chaos ensues. Everyone's scared. Civilians are running around. It's hectic. Agent Fury goes out to one particular scroll that he notices is a scroll. So he's trying to find this one guy. He goes over there. Everyone's, off trying to find their separate, individuals. And some guy corners Agent Hill. And we're like, is she going to, what's going to happen? Next time, we see Fury. And he's like, Agent Hill. He calls out to her. She turns around and he shoots her. Right. He's a scroll. Not our Fury, but this Fury that shoots her.
This is a whole nother Fury.
It's a whole nother Fury. And pretty much the conclusion of the episode was that Agent Hill, unfortunately, passes away. First episode. And I can't believe they killed off. Yes, killed her. But you know what? Someone had to die. Someone had to die.
You know what some people would say?
What?
Some people would say Maria Hill ate the bullet.
Yes, in fact, she did, and choked on it because she died.
No, she didn't choke on it. She just died. Don't try to add on to my joke.
I'm just look. It needed some help. I'm here to assist. Give you that.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I find my tails. My tails. Thank you.
Oh, tails. I guess he's the smart one. So.
I feel so offended, but carry on. I don't really want to.
So yeah, that was the conclusion of the episode. We had 2 deaths, really, if you count, the Scroll Agent Ross.
Yeah.
And
well, 3 because then you also got to include that other Scroll that was the artist that Talon beat, the one that Fury shot. The one Fury shot.
We don't even know him. That's somebody we don't even know.
Oh well, I mean, he's still counting on the death. I mean, we're gonna have a
kill list. Talking about just like a death count? Okay.
Yeah, death count. We have 3 so far. It's gonna add up because there's 5 more episodes. So
not including all the people that died in the explosion, and that guy who was killed in at the camps. They took his body.
Oh yeah, no, I don't even know who that is. No Name Death. Yeah, we'll add that.
Counting all the bodies, man.
So that's 4 so far, right? And then there's a bunch of other names that we can't. But real quick, and before, we'll wrap it up. This episode started off so slow, and I was kind of like, oh man, I don't know about this. But I felt like it picked up in the middle. And one of the things I appreciate about the MCU is that they try different things. I wanted to piggyback a little bit more on what you were saying earlier, how this is so different from WandaVision. It took different liberties there. Same thing with Falcon and Winter Soldier, all these other shows, and I felt like this was such a different take that I don't know if I'm super interested in it, but I'm willing to go the next episode to see what happens because there's a lot of confusion. Because now with the scrolls being involved and how they constantly change, and like how you mentioned Nick Fury when he was like, "Come here, it's me," and then it wasn't him. I was like, "Dog, they got me!" Like, so it's interesting stuff. Anyone. We want to hear you guys' thoughts, so let us know what you guys think.
Let us know. And you know what? I have a question, right? The scrolls, they can change forms, right? But they also change clothes. So do they have a little bit of, sleight of hand matter manipulation? Because wouldn't the skin just be the body?
Oh, you mean like right.
But they change with the whole fit. So it's like, they got no magic too?
From what I understand with the scrolls, right? When they make eye contact with you, when they look at you, they take everything. Now, the only thing that they have to do to get your mindset is when they were at that camp, they had the thing where I guess the human was suspended, like his mind was suspended or whatever. And then they could just take your thoughts. So I guess they could take everything from you. Like if a scroll took me, they would get the white shirt and everything. Which is hilarious.
Is the shirt part of their body? That's what is that part of their
skin? It's not a part, but I just think because they've made eye contact with what they see in front. They said whatever they see in front of them, they could just copy. But it's not a part of their skin. No. The answer to your question is not. But I just think they could just take everything. Magic. Yeah, you know what? I don't know.
They can create what's it called? A transfiguration. They can create just stuff out of nothing. Okay, there we go. Question answered. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like the video if you like the video, and join us next Wednesday for the final episode of Gotham Knights, and also join us next Thursday possibly for the next episode of Secret Invasions.
And catch us Sunday.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I just want to say real quick, but also I know you're liking this. You're seeing the top shelf baddies. Catch us on Wednesdays, catch us on Thursdays. We're going to be joined with the fantastic Vic. He'll be back with us next week. But on Sunday, you can catch us. We're going to have UPR Battle. It's fun. You can check us out on Instagram Live. It is Mickey Mouse against Pikachu. It's going to be great. Pikachu is going to be cleaning Mickey Mouse's shoes. So
the lies continue. So, all right, guys. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Bye.